So our next speaker is Mr. Jean-Francois Dutrey from Campus France. So Mr. Dutrey, you have the floor.
Okay, thanks a lot. Hello, everyone. As Cecilia said, my name is Jean-Francois Dutrey, and I'm Development Manager in the Educational and Academic Engineering Department of the Campus France agency in Paris. I'm especially in charge of the development of tailored mobility scholarship programs for the benefit of foreign governments or foreign institutions. And today I have the great pleasure to introduce you to our new short program, French Plus Sciences. But before starting the presentation, I'd like to invite you to go on our website, campusfrance.org, and download the presentation brochure. You just have to go on the research engine and enter French Plus Sciences. As you will see, it is fully detailed about the day-to-day activities, and it includes a description of all our partners involved in the designing of the scientific modules. I'm talking about companies, labs, engineering schools, all internationally renowned in cutting-edge sectors. So for the time being, we have 4 different themes, and the program is implemented in 4 different regions. So the different themes are focus on sustainable development, marine sciences, transport and energy, microtechnology and biomedical engineering, and finally, yes, oh, there's a technical problem. No, okay. So I do hope that by attending this presentation or by consulting the brochure, you will see how we managed to design a very practical, a very professional training in which you students will be involved as future engineers. So to start with, I'd like to explain how French Plus Sciences reflects our will to address university students in scientific and technical fields, English speakers, but who may be complete beginners in French. Most of the time, these scientific students don't know about the French technological know-how in cutting-edge sectors and the excellence of our scientific training, as they don't know either about the possibility they have to follow a master degree in English in the very same fields in France. And the third characteristic is that quite often they are afraid of planning an academic stay in France, even a short stay, if they don't already speak French before leaving. So our main purpose in designing the French Plus Sciences program was to overcome the language barrier and allow non-French speaking students to experience a short program in science and perhaps pursue studies in France. So in partnership with Centers for the Teaching of French as a Foreign Language, which we call FLE centers, together with companies, labs, engineering schools, all internationally renowned in cutting-edge sectors, we designed the French Plus Sciences program, which appears as our answer to 3 main objectives, which correspond with the 3 main parts of the program. First objective, to allow students to explore scientific and technical cutting-edge sectors through site visits to companies, conferences, and encounters with specialists in the field. This is the scientific module. It is totally conducted in English, and it's organized on the afternoons for 15 hours per week. Then, second objective, to allow students to acquire or improve communication skills in French. This is the French language module, which is organized on the mornings for another 15 hours per week. And finally, third objective, to allow students to discover four of the most beautiful regions of France. This is the cultural activities module, which is proposed on Saturdays for 7 to 10 hours per week. As for the participants' profile, French Plus Sciences is accessible to undergraduate students seeking a period of language, scientific, and cultural immersion in France. About the language requirements, we already mentioned the program is open, of course, to complete beginners in French. So those who already have a certain level in French are, of course, very much welcome. In English, a B2 level is required. So I'd like to insist on the fact that from the very moment when students arrived in the language center, they will be fully welcomed in English and fully accompanied in English. What I mean by fully accompanied, that they will receive the support of a tutor who will, of course, answer all their questions related to their day-to-day life, but he will be there to help them develop their reflection about the questions and issues that will be submitted to the students during the scientific module. I pass quickly over this slide, which mentioned that the session lasts from 3 to 4 weeks with starting dates almost throughout the year, just to indicate that for 2021, next sessions are planned for June and July. We already commented the hourly distribution and the general schedule of the program, but I'd like to draw your attention on this specific point, the possibility given to the student to obtain ECTS credits while participating in 3 of the 4 stays that are organized for the time being. What are the objectives and contents of the scientific module? The scientific modules are built around innovative themes in cutting-edge sectors pursued by internationally recognized companies and labs in the 4 regions where we organize the French Plus Sciences sessions, which are starting with the south of France in Montpellier. Our FLE partner there is Accent Français, and the theme of the stay is focus on sustainable development. Then in Brest, in the western part of France, in Brittany, our FLE partner is Ciel Bretagne, and the stay is about sea sciences and technologies. Then in Normandy, in Rouen, in partnership with French in Normandy, which is the FLE Language Center, and the SCGLEC and Engineering School, it's about focus on transport and energy. Then in the eastern part of France, in Besançon, in partnership with the University of Franche-Comté and the CLA Language Center, microtechnology and biomedical engineering. So you have here an overview of the presentation page of each theme as it appears in the brochure, starting with focus on sustainable development in Montpellier, then science and technology of the sea in Brest, then focus on transport and energy in Normandy, in Rouen, and finally, microtechnology and biomedical engineering in Besançon. So to sum it up, while participating in the scientific module, students will alternatively visit companies and labs, attend presentations given by experts in engineering programs, participate in thematic debates in each of the 4 regions where the French Plus Sciences sessions take place. And once again, I'd like to remind that this scientific module is fully conducted in English. So you have here an overview of some of the cultural activities that will be offered in each of the 4 regions. Here, for instance, in Montpellier, and some of the main strengths which explain the reasons why each of these regions was chosen for these specific themes. Starting with Montpellier, I will just point out that it's a city with a long and proud tradition of science and higher learning, a city internationally renowned for research in the field of health, agronomy, and the environment, and that Montpellier is among the world leaders in ecology according to the Shanghai ranking. You have here an overview of our partners in the designing of the scientific module. Unfortunately, I don't have time enough to comment them all with you now and explain what are the competencies and specificities. But once again, I do invite you to go on their website and you will find all the required information. Then an overview of some of the cultural activities in Brest. Brest, which is a city at the top of the European ranking for sea sciences and technologies, among the main international pools of research in the same fields. And the city and the region have made a massive development of marine resources to attract and support companies specialized in marine renewable energies. Brest is a maritime city. Research in the field of science, information, and digital technology is particularly active in the region. And it's important when you address international students to remind that the city's university campus is also dedicated to the sea. Once again, an overview of our main partners in the designing of the scientific module. And once again, I do invite you to go on their websites and get to know them. Transport and energy in Rouen, Normandy. Normandy, which is home to over 100 companies who are all leaders in the field of aeronautics and special technology, which together form a cluster called Normandy Aerospace. It's also the region that represents over 70% of the companies working in research and development in the automobile industry. Once again, a presentation page of our partners associated to the scientific module. And finally, an overview of some of the cultural activities proposed in Besançon. Reminding that Le Grand Besançon, or Greater Besançon in English, is an industrial ecosystem based on the region's historical strengths in the field of microtechnology, a large part of them in the health sciences. In 2016, Greater Besançon and the Microtechnology Competitiveness Cluster joined the Health Tech France Network, component of the prestigious French Tech organization, which demonstrates the innovative and creative capacity of region's startups in the field of the medicine of the future. And here again, an overview of our partners in the designing of the scientific module in Besançon. So I'd like to underline that French Plus Sciences is indeed a very practical training in which students are involved as future engineers working within world-class firms and research organizations. Students will be invited to reflect as a group on a problem linked to the present and future challenges facing engineers, and they will gain a firm grasp of the solutions and responses that France can bring to these questions by virtue of its high-level technological capabilities. I will now introduce you to the logistical aspects linked to the program, starting with the registration process, which is indeed very simple. Registrations and payments are done online on the website of the partners FLE centers that can answer students' questions directly. And you have here our partners' links to the subscription process. We provide the students with a complete academic and logistical package, which includes the airport pickup for groups of students only, with transportation to and from the language center, 3 options of housing: university housing, private apartment, host families, tutoring and monitoring of progress together with an assessment and a final report, and a new tailor-made insurance that we have created in partnership with NDEL April International. This specific insurance covers health, repatriation, public liability costs. When applicable, it allows to obtain a visa, and a certificate is available upon payment. You have here the links for the online subscription, either in French or in English. And here a table of fees considering a 3-week stay and the 3 kinds of housing which are offered. So you can see that the most affordable stay is in a university housing in Brest, and it's 1,655 euros. Once again, I mention here that next sessions are planned for June and July 2021. So to conclude with, I'd like to underline which are the main strengths of French Sciences. It creates a scientific dynamic. It brings together in a single program innovators, entrepreneurs, scientists, educators, and researchers. It gives to international students an appreciation of French technological know-how in cutting-edge sectors such as sustainable development, sea sciences and technologies, microtechnology, and biomedical engineering, transport and energy. And finally, French Sciences allows them to play a very active role in their own training. So I'd like to thank you all once again for attending this presentation. And as you can see it maybe behind me, it's now autumn in Paris. And I do hope that when summer comes back in June or July 2021, we will have the great pleasure to welcome you for participating in the first French Sciences sessions in Montpellier, in Brest, in Rouen, or in Besançon. Thank you all, and see you soon.
Thank you very much, Jean-Francois. Perfect timing. Are there maybe any questions? In that case, I would ask participants to send their questions by question and answer or chat system. I don't see anything yet. I would have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Which level do you expect the students or to have? Should they have a certain level at the university or a certain level at school to be able to participate in this program?
Well, the program is accessible for undergraduate students, bachelor's level. But of course, we are planning to organize specific sessions for students who would be still in high school. But the thing is that we need to have an homogeneous level, not to mix undergraduate students with younger students so that they could feel a little confused. So we need to have a coherent group, and undergraduate level would be the best, the most adequate level for these sessions.
And the group would be how many people or how many students or undergraduate students maximum?
The maximum should be of 20 students. The minimum group of students to open a session is of 10. But in order for the students to take the better profit of the program, we planned it for 20 students maximum, because a bigger group would be too much.
Okay, and the program is open.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
The program is open to everybody. I mean, in the sense, in all regions of the world, correct?
Absolutely, and to my point of view, this represents one of the major interests of the program, the possibility to gather international students coming from all over the world and create by that international promotions. When you consider the possibilities they will have afterwards to be part of the alumni group in the country of origin, it will be very interesting then to go on exchanging between this group, which was born during the French Plus Sciences session. I think it's very challenging and very interesting.
Okay. Any other question? I don't see anything at this stage. Just, this is the worst case scenario question from my side. Everybody hopes that at this stage, the pandemic would be over. Should the travel to France, especially, should be an issue in next summer, is there online system that you're foreseeing, or in that case, it would be postponed maybe to whatever it's possible to travel there?
As you said, we do hope that this problem will be behind us in June and July. But unfortunately, considering, as I mentioned, the very practical aspect of the program, as you saw, our aim is really to give to the students a direct access to the companies, labs, engineering schools. So it wouldn't be possible to think it in a virtual way. So we do hope we will have the possibility to open for real, the sessions in June or July, but we don't have a virtual solution.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
We cross fingers that everything goes well.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. And should anybody have any questions, I think you're also available on the platform for any possible questions or bilateral meetings as well.
Absolutely, with great pleasure. Thanks again. See you.
Thank you very much, Jean-Francois.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.